Are you ready to hoist the colors? Now, time for the most in-depth look at the world of ECU athletics. Welcome in to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game. Watch the show live on Facebook and at 943thegame.com. Now, here's your host, Stephen Igo.
Welcome in to Hoist the Colors on this Friday edition of the show. It is a Joey Football Friday. Stephen Igo here. Joey Football is back.
I'm back.
First appearance of the week. You got bumped for Cliff Godwin, so how does it feel to be back?
Hey, I mean, if I donate $200K back into ECU, do I also bump Cliff Godwin is the real question.
You do.
Okay.
So as soon as
There's the going rate, people. If you want to bump me off the airwaves, $200K donation to the Boneyard Collective. Just right there.
As soon as that payment cashes, we'll see if the check actually goes through. We'll let you know, and you can make as many. You can host the show. I'll take a step back, and we'll let you host the show. Philip Pilkington.
As long as you don't cuss, because you can't be getting me fired. That is our one rule.
That is
host
true.
Got to keep Philip's job.
That is the voice of Philip Pilkington, who I was just about to introduce. Philip, how you doing, man?
Good. Sorry about my premature comment.
We're already off the rails
before I was introduced, but it's Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Free ball Friday. I can do what I want.
We are. I'm kind of stalling here because I'm trying to send a tweet out. I always tweet out when we start the show, to get viewers on, and I can't tweet from my computer. First off, my regular computer is not working.
I was about to say this
is my wife's computer, which is why it's so bright.
I was loving the color scheme. I was about to ask, is this the new Stephen Igo?
Yeah, I'm big on this. I don't even know what this is. Like,
you got Igo's in a T-shirt. He's got like this
I am
nice
rocking the
teal
T-shirt.
sky blue almost. Might be more of like an aquamarine to those of you who are initiated to that type of color scheme. Did you get a haircut?
I did.
So
got a haircut
this is
from
a
my
whole
wife.
new Stephen Igo.
It's a new era, man.
By God.
I mean, you leave for a week, Joe. You don't come on the show, and I've got a new computer, a new haircut, new style.
New cell phone, too.
New
cell phone
that I'm trying to tweet from.
Really moved up in the world. All of a sudden, I'm gone for like 4 days. Get bumped for fake bunts and cliff ball.
You just never know
everything
what's going to
changes.
happen.
Hey, last Friday you did it to yourself. We don't want to hear that.
Yeah, it's true.
That is true. So this is your first in-studio appearance in a week and a half.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, we got ECU Navy to talk about, which is important, but we have even more important things to talk about, at least in my opinion, because we saw at least John Gilbert, the ECU Director of Athletics, send out a long email yesterday from the helm to several Pirate Club members, fans, etc. You can go online. You can read it if you didn't see the email. There's several Twitter accounts. I know Pack the Jungle, ECU Jungle, has tweeted it, and basically just kind of challenging East Carolina fans to give to NIL. This is a crucial period and time period where you're about to have the December transfer portal come up, and players are going to, get the opportunity to go elsewhere from programs across the country, and also teams want to acquire talent. So there is a major push. We've had Doug Gomes from Team Boneyard on the show. Last week we've had Hank Hinton on in the past from Team Boneyard as well here from Interbanks Media. So it's a crucial time, Joe, and I've got some updated numbers we'll run through here in a minute, but I know you're a former player. You know how important this is. I mean, take us inside the locker room. Like, how often is this stuff getting discussed when, you're in that locker room right now as a player?
It's not as much as you'd anticipate people like discussing it within the locker room, but you hear rumblings. You're like, okay, this guy got this deal. This guy got that deal. Like, why is this guy getting more? This guy hasn't produced yet, and all these different things. And it can kind of cause a little bit of leakage, so to speak, as far as buying into the rat poison and letting it affect you. But I also have to point out to the people of the surrounding Pitt County, New Bern, Washington area, everybody who's listening to this great, great show, if you don't pay them, someone else will. And that's the thing that people are always like, oh, is NIL that big a deal? And Steven, why are we covering this much? Like, why do people care about paying the athletes? They shouldn't have been paid in the first place. You've opened Pandora's box, yada, yada, yada. If you don't pay them, someone else will. Antoine Jackson is a 17-year-old freshman right now. He's got all these great opportunities lined up. He's a 4-star recruit. He could have gone to Miami. He's here. Somebody's going to throw a lot of money at that man. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know what school it's going to be. I don't want to insinuate. I don't want to say anything for Antoine or speak on his behalf because that's not my place. But I'm telling you, somebody will throw some money at that man. And this is where NIL comes in. Do you want to retain him? Do you want to go out and try and upgrade your offensive line with all these different transfers? Do you want to go get somebody who was at a smaller school and is looking to make that big step up, but other schools are kind of vying for him and fighting for him? We're in free agency now. That's what this is.
And, unfortunately, guys, you can't really sign them to more than, you don't have a more than a year contract. So
right.
Each December, you've got the opportunity to kind of look around, and it's just the reality. And so ECU needs to have a good NIL base to retain talent. Siobhan Revel, another guy.
Yeah.
And we saw last year 2 offensive linemen. There's cases maybe if guys really want to leave, there's not a way for ECU to retain. Then maybe if they're really seeking a giant payday, but you at least got to have something to be competitive. And so I think that's the biggest thing.
I agree. I think it's not – and you look at the crazy deals, and Nico, I can't pronounce his last name, the quarterback from Tennessee, is getting $8 million. But these also can't be pay-to-play deals. Yeah, he's not even starting. These aren't pay-to-play deals, and I need to preface that also. By NCAA rule, it cannot be pay-to-play. You have to pay them based on their name, image, and likeness. It cannot be performance-based. There's no incentives for them performing well. There's no you can get $100 here because you threw a touchdown or caught a touchdown. That's illegal. So you're truly trying to sell the university and the experience and what they could do on the field for the person that they are. And that's also where it gets kind of wish-washy and mixed up because people think you're just paying players to play. You can't do that. You have to pay them for appearances, for their name, image, and likeness, for all these different things that kind of play into that, and then you're hoping they pan out the same way playing-wise.
All right, so I was talking with a couple of sources from Team Boneyard this morning, and after John Gilbert's letter, there's been a big surge in major donations, and I was talking to Hank Hinton. He said, with the Team Boneyard email is essentially blowing up right now with monthly donations, $10, $20, $50, $100 a month donations. So he's got to go through and calculate all that, but that's great news. Continue, teamboneyard.org. Help fund this initiative from Team Boneyard, as that money will go all to the players at East Carolina. But there's also been several other major donations. Bill Clark Holmes, $200,000 has been pledged to Team Boneyard to, again, kind of lead the way. They gave $100,000 last year. They're giving $200,000 this year, $100,000 from Sean and Andrea Smith from Charlotte, $60,000 from Bagel Man, which will go to the football team, $25,000 from Interbanks Media here. They are donating that to the collective, $25,000 from Glenn Hall from National Finance Company. We saw Supdogs tweet they're giving $10,000.
Our own Anson Belt.
Anson Belt and Buckle has matched that with $10,000. The board, by the way, Anson Belt and Buckle, they represent the Team Boneyard board, as does Interbanks Media with Hank. You've got several members of that board stepping up. For example, Woody and Jennifer Tyner. Woody's on the board. They've given $10,000. KDL Construction, which is involved with Doug Gomes, they've given $10,000. $20,000 from an anonymous donor to the basketball team, $10,000 from Eastern Property Management and Home Builder Supply Company, and $10,000 from Dogwood State Bank. So those are kind of your big donations here in the last number of days with this big push. There's also more that's happening. The company has reached out wanting to work specifically with a few baseball players, and that's going to be worked out with Team Boneyard. So, Joe, that's about, if you do the calculation.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's on you.
Pushing $500,000 in money raised, and that's not, calculating all the monthly, anything left over from last year as well.
Smaller donations, yeah.
So, big push there, and I think that says a lot, and there's more that want to give and are working out kind of what they're going to give, and I think some even bigger donors as well trying to figure things out. But that's awesome to see.
It's great to see, and that shows the excitement behind Pirate Nation and football itself, never mind just the things basketball is doing. It was a close loss to USC Upstate, but they're building the same way, and baseball is always overperforming what we're anticipating from them and are surprising. Even if they go on like some little dull run, all of a sudden, they're fighting, they should be hosting, and we look at this back again, and it's like repeating itself. So it's great to see Pirate Nation just sticking behind and wanting to pay players and do right by them and kind of create that kind of culture and atmosphere where people are buying in as well as the fans buying in.
And if you're a local business, I mean, it's it just makes so much sense to. And I was talking to Brett Oliveria from Supdogs last night, and it's not easy for him to give $10,000, even as great a business as they have. But he's like, man, every time ECU wins, it helps our business that much more. Every game, the bigger the game, the better his business is going to be. So he's like, it's not easy to give $10,000, but this place means a lot to me. He wants to see it succeed. And if you're a local business, you don't have to give $10,000, but at least give something to this program. There's a lot of people that aren't a fan of NIL, Joe, but we said it. If ECU
you're not paying them, somebody else is.
So you got to have the funds to pay them. This is awesome. Again, Team Boneyard, follow their social media. I've gotten a lot of questions about, hey, what businesses are giving so I can, go out and support them. So we just kind of listed off some primary ones there. But Team Boneyard will go through and they'll tweet and tag each business as well. Again, Pirates supporting Pirates. Can't thank all these people, all these businesses enough for getting behind the collective, and we'll continue to keep you updated on that number. We talked to Doug, and he said, really the goal was probably $1 million to $1.5 million, and basically a third of the way there.
Yeah.
After a few days, if you with this big push, and they've had multiple Zoom calls with Team Boneyard, major donors over the last few weeks, and I think they'll have a really real shot to hit that goal going forward. So we'll keep you updated there. All right, switching gears, East Carolina and Navy. Navy, speaking of NIL, cannot do anything.
No,
with NIL.
They are employees, federal employees.
It's crazy, man, and it's why they have to run the option, why they have to do some different things.
Yeah.
Because
you're not getting the 4-star recruit you want.
You're not. It's just a unique system. And Navy Week, Joe. What is Navy Week all about in this program?
So I need to set the stage here for the good people listening. Navy Week is the most intense week of practice of your entire life. Mike Houston walks into the meeting room on Tuesday. Usually it's a David Goggins, Nick Saban quote. Not Navy Week. Navy Week, he is just playing anchors away. That is all you will hear for the entirety of the week in the facility. Anchors away, anchors away, anchors away. You're in between meeting rooms, anchors away. You get out of meeting rooms, anchors away. You go to get taped, anchors away. You know what's ahead of you. The coaches like to call it the you-know-what offense because they're telling you we're better than you. You know what's coming. Stop it. And, yeah, this is a different Navy team. We'll get into this. You've probably seen 14 different formations from them this year, which is the most I can ever think of, even between all their trick plays and all those things when they'd run it in America's Game. So this is a different Navy team than we were kind of expecting, but this is the week that you are just intensely chop block, chop block, chop block. And you don't chop block in practice, but they're telling you if you don't run, you're going to get chop blocked. You're going to get taken off. You're going to get kind of taken off your feet, especially at corner with the way they run the veer and they bring this wide back around and all these different things. The intensity is so much higher than any other week, and especially when you get into these types of games, like 2 years ago when we played them going in for their senior night also, the intensity of it being like the second to last week of the year just amplifies it so much more because you've been building up to this and anticipating it.
So Navy Week here, and the team will fly to Annapolis today. And I always get that question, hey, why fly when you can drive? It's just, a lot of traffic, and I guess much better experience flying.
Definitely a better experience flying charter. The bus is fine, but it is 4 hours in the bus ride, and you're trying to corral all these different things, and 4 buses to one plane is usually, I don't know if it's cost effective, but it does make more sense logistically between all the people and staff and support and families and all that. And then an hour flight is 3 more hours you have for preparation or downtime or meals or meetings. And your schedule feels a little less rushed, especially with a 12 o'clock kick like theirs is, and then trying to get from where you stay into Annapolis through the military base is its own kind of set of problems.
I did not make the charter flight, so I have to get up at 5:30 a.m. and drive. And I'm driving back tomorrow night. So it's going to be a long day. Pirates need a W to make it worth it.
Make Kaysen drive. He's an intern.
That is true. I need to make Kaysen drive. I probably will. I need some sleep because my 7-month-old daughter has been waking up at 4 a.m. to eat.
To get you fired up.
I guess I'll just go ahead and wake up at that time and just roll and get packed, maybe get a workout in and do something. Christian Bateman says, what times does the team's flight leave? He says league row day. I'm guessing he means leave today. Do we know? What is it, usually early afternoon?
Yeah, it's usually noon or 1.
Okay. So if you want to go meet him at the airport, Christian.
Yeah, probably right about
They're
now.
listening to us on their drive to the airport.
Probably.
What's up, guys? NIL money may be coming your way. So we'll get into this. We're going to make our game picks here on the other side, and we're going to do ECU and Navy with that, Joe. But how weird is it that Navy is running some like shotgun stuff now?
I was watching some tape, and I'm completely thrown off. I mean, 14 different formations. They're in true gun. They've run some twin sets, some trip sets. They're lining up in a pro set and not in the wishbone, as they like to call it, or the nasty set, as defense would refer to it. It's thrown me off, and they're on their fourth-string quarterback now. And 3 of them are nursing injuries. The starter, who was supposed to come in the beginning of the year, came back against North Texas late in the game but didn't start it. I mean, they're just kind of falling through and pushing through a whole season. That's the Navy way. But this is a very different Navy team. This is not wishbone, nasty set, fake pass. This is, okay, we're going to drop back and gun and force you to play everything at once. And I think that's what's kind of made them so unique this year, and that's why they gave Charlotte so much trouble. They gave Memphis a ton of trouble. They gave UAB a ton of trouble, and that's kind of what they do.
So going into this game, you've got as much familiarity on both sides as probably any game ECU will play. Blake Harrell followed Brian Newberry, Navy's head coach, to Kennesaw State, and when he was leaving Kennesaw to go to Navy, but they crossed paths, shared some notes, run similar defenses. You have the OC at Navy now. He was the OC at Kennesaw State when Blake Harrell was the DC at Kennesaw State, so they went against each other in practice. They know each other. You've got Mike Houston, used to run the triple option. You've got coaches on Navy staff that used to be Lenore Ryan with Mike Houston and Blake Harrell. So, like, there is so much crossover in this game. How much of that will we see play out on the field Saturday?
It depends. And I say that more of which coach wants to go the farthest. Do you want to go all the way back to a Lenore Ryan set that they liked when they ran this part of the triple option? Do you want to go to the Mike Houston days when he was at Citadel and they ran this certain wide back play with the veer? It depends on how deep the GAs are digging. And that's the unsung hero right now this week is the GAs. They're going back through Navy from 5 years ago, Kennesaw State from 10 years ago, anything they could possibly find that could show up again as another set. And that's what Navy Week is. It's like, how far can you dig and find a way to beat them at their own game? So the familiarity will definitely play a part, but I also think both coaches are so far in each other's heads, so to speak, that they won't try and outdo one another because they know there's an answer. So I think it might just be one of those games where you truly do see some vanilla sets and then some crazy shifts third or fourth quarter.
Yeah, a lot of it's going to come down to simple execution on the field. I mean, I think these coaches know each other so well. There might be a wrinkle or two, but a lot of it will be execution based. All right, let's get our first break in. We'll come back. We'll make college picks on the other side. I was great at college picks last week, so we'll just talk about that and not mention the NFL outside of the Denver Broncos. Go Broncos, go Jaquan McMillan. And we may talk about that for the end of the show, but college picks on the other side. This is Hoist the Colors on a Friday.
It's time to give thanks, and Greenville Toyota is making it happen with no payments for 3 months. Yes, we're thanking our customers with no payments till next year. That means extra money in your pocket, just in time for holiday shopping. Rush to Greenville Toyota.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you farm to fork beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to fork beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
At GoEco, we don't just supply the office space. We create solutions for any environment. Our state-of-the-art commercial-grade video display is perfect for watching film with the team. From film study to the field, elevate your game with Go Eco.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Hurry into Greenville Toyota. We're giving thanks and making the season bright with low payments on new Camrys and RAV4s, only $289 a month. Need credit? Get pre-qualified now with no effect on your credit score. Rush to Greenville Toyota.
We're live with Steve and Igo on 94.3 The Game.
Hoist the Johnny Roger!
Now, back to Hoist the Colors.
All right, welcome back into the show. We were talking to NIL earlier, so I'm diving into all the players that left ECU last year, seeing how they're performing at their next stop. And mixed results, Joe.
Yeah.
For some of these guys.
Mixed bag.
You know, Nashad Strother, Avery Jones, Malik Fleming. Nashad got hurt, which is a big reason why he's not playing at Oregon. But he's only played
24 snaps, I think.
Yeah, 24 offensive snaps this season. But he's getting paid.
Hey. He is. Because if you don't pay him, someone else will.
Malik Fleming playing a lot. His Pro Football Focus grade, he does have 3 picks, but he's allowed 5 touchdowns according to PFF. Up and down year. Avery Jones grading out about the same at Auburn. And Jaira Wilson has had a solid year, playing a lot for UCF. His grade overall has dropped a little bit according to PFF.
He's in an interesting situation, though, because they've kind of rotated him from free safety to strong safety a couple times. He played like outside an invert almost in their scheme a couple games. He's like moving around a lot, so it's hard to get a true read on him.
And that's why it's tough, is you go in with a guy with 1 year left to a new program. You got to learn on the fly, so it's not easy.
You got to be versatile.
So we'll have an article after the season on HTC, kind of looking at all that. But again, teamboneyard.org, major donations, and if you missed it early in the show, approaching $500,000 over the last few days. So the push is real. We'll keep you updated there. All right, guys, it is time for our picks. Last week in college football, yours truly went 4-1 in college picks. My only loss was East Carolina.
Yeah.
I had the FAU Owls.
It's okay.
And you went 2-3 in college. And
with a push, though.
Philip went 2-3. Was there a push?
No, the push was
in the league. You went 3-1-1 in the league.
I remember what my ran is. My bad.
Yeah.
No, Washington screwed me. I don't know when Deshaun Jackson started influencing the minds of young football players to drop the football at the goal line, but that's another fight for another day.
That hosed both of us.
9.5.
Great job by the Washington Huskies.
Would have been 13.5 as the points at the end, and I would have been fine. But no, we had to flash for the cameras.
I would have ripped that kid's scholarship on the spot.
Steve Logan definitely would have.
He takes everyone's scholarship away, including Phillips.
Yeah, exactly.
He's running in the parking lot.
I'm sure I'll lose it 3 times in the next
Steve Logan might have thrown
hours.
him in the lake.
Yeah. But, I mean, seriously, like, there's a definition of, like, hey, they're
ball.
kids, they make mistakes. Like, don't get me wrong, we've all made mistakes on the playing field. But that is not the definition of he made a mistake. That's the definition of he's a moron. It should never be allowed to play football.
If you think your name on the back is bigger than the name on the front, you don't belong in the program. But
go play tennis or golf.
Exactly. Solo sports. Football's the ultimate team game. Moving on.
East Carolina and Navy. And Navy is a 2.5-point favorite. Guys, the total for this game started at 33.5. It is down to 30.5. That is disgusting.
We're Iowa level, baby.
I mean, this by the time kickoff gets here tomorrow, the total may be in the 20s, and truly Iowa special. I mean, 30 and a half. What? Like, there are teams that score 30 points in a quarter.
There are.
And definitely 30 points and a half. Not ECU and not Navy.
No.
So, all right, Navy is a 2.5-point favorite. I mean, to me, I think this is one of those games that you do throw the records out the window.
Yeah.
And, like, I think there's so much pride on each staff. I think the teams are so familiar with one another. This has kind of become a rivalry game. I do feel like that. It's just I just can't pick ECU against Navy, man. I really think there's a good chance East Carolina wins this game. It's going to come down to turnovers and big plays. Like, otherwise, it's going to be pretty even across the board. So can ECU avoid the explosive play defensively, and can they maybe get one on offense? We haven't seen a whole lot of that. And Navy at home, senior night or senior day, with it being a noon kickoff, they're still playing for a bowl. I'm going to go with Navy here, but wouldn't surprise me if ECU just wins this game.
Yeah, okay.
Like 14-6 or something.
Cover your tracks.
Joe.
This is the week of all weeks where the records don't matter, and Igo said it best. But we need to remember that Andrew Conrad was 5 for 5 last week on kicks, and they were over 46 yards.
Andrew Conrad was 5 for 5 last week.
Yeah, that's what's coming down to this. Because when you look at it and you look at this game and you look at how low the points total is, and you remember 2 years ago the heroics that were involved and the crow hop of a kick that ended it, you remember that kicking is what's going to determine this game. And I don't want to bring up last year. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to even discuss how the field goal didn't go in. But this is what you look at, which is why I'm taking East Carolina by 2.5, and I'm taking the under all in one go. I know I am on the record for saying that life is too short to not bet the over, but this is one of those games.
You're taking under on a 30
I'm
and a half.
taking the under on the 30 and a half. I'm taking the under, and I'm taking ECU points.
How many touchdowns in this game? Well,
One.
Philip, you go first. We'll discuss that.
You know, it was funny. At the beginning of the year, you two picked Navy to win this game. I picked ECU to win this game. I said, and just like every ECU win over Navy, that it was going to be 38-35 with an Andrew Conrad last-second field goal. I do not believe there will be 73 points scored in tomorrow's game. I am going at Midshipman 10, Pirates 7.
I have it flipped. I have Pirates 10, Midshipman 7.
So we're going – I think there's going to be one touchdown scored as well, combined.
Wow. You're saying 10-3?
I think Navy comes out either second half or that first run and either trick play or they line up in some odd formation that you just can't get corrected, so to speak, and they hit like one of those cheap touchdowns, and then after that it's just nasty set.
Yeah, I'm going 13-6 Navy. I think one touchdown, and ECU will make some drives. Donnie Kirkpatrick talked about it. They're really good in the red zone, so you almost have to hit some explosive plays to score on them. And I have heard Javius Bond could be back more full capacity this week. That makes me feel better if that happens.
If he plays.
Give him carries if he's back. We don't need another Keaton Mitchell-Ravens situation where he's getting one carry in the second half.
8 carries? Come on, Harbaugh. What are we doing?
They couldn't block for him. They needed a bigger back who could break tackles.
I'm not disagreeing. I mean, I just don't know why. As soon as he gets the ball, there's 2 guys in the backfield.
Navy this year has made 2 kicks over 40 yards, 0 kicks over 50. Their field goal kickers are 6 of 10 combined. I'm not sure which one of these guys has kicked lately. I'm going to guess Nathan Kirkwood he's 4 or 5.
I think it's Kirkwood.
Looks like Kirkwood. Yeah, he's 4 or 5. But again, 2 of 3 over 40. So we'll see if it comes down to that. Maybe the kicking does play in ECU's advantage. Robert says 17-6 Midshipman is his prediction on YouTube. All right, Michigan. 19-point favorites at Maryland, guys. This is the week.
I want to do something so dumb.
That Michigan doesn't cover the spread. And I'm going Maryland here. And I wouldn't be shocked if Maryland wins.
This is a consensus stupidity pick because I believe the same thing. Michael Locksley, who was named, I can't believe I'm actually going to use this, the Associated Press Big Ten Midway Coach of the Year.
Is that a thing?
That was actually something they tweeted. That was actually something he was awarded, yes. Is going to find a way, especially with no Harbaugh on the sidelines now, which is confirmed. There's going to be some late game situation where the acting head coach is not going to be familiar with how to handle the clock, how to handle a situation, how to handle the burn chart. And that's where Maryland is going to make their mark, which is why I'm taking the Terrapins, the fighting Latrell Scotts, who's currently the running back coach, and I'm taking the Terrapins points.
See, your point, Joe, only comes into play if the game is close in the first place, which it will not be. Maryland has been abysmal since their bye, losing at Northwestern, losing at home to Penn State 51-15, and then beating the crappy Fighting Matt Rules 13-10 last week in Lincoln.
There's still some love lost there
Belt
for,
and Buckle
Matt
lock of the week. Michigan by 30. Go Blue.
There's still some love lost there for Matt Rule, I can tell.
I grew up with my dad who's a Colorado fan. I hate Nebraska as it is. And then Matt Rule, heck with the Cornhuskers.
I think Michigan is easily my least college team now.
I'm over them.
I mean, this whole let's play the victim card because we cheated and got caught is the saddest thing I've ever seen. And props to them for having a great football team. Cheating or not, they're good. They're talented. What are we doing?
I don't remember. What team was it? It was Georgia 2 years ago. It was like, who picked us to win? You're the number one team in the nation. Everybody. That's what angers me. If you want to have the victim complex and woe is me and oh, look at us, we're so beat down and hurt. You are the number 3 team in the nation.
You're Michigan.
Act like it.
They make enough money off ticket sales to fund their entire athletic department.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, did y'all see the story? I haven't read it yet because we've been on the air. Ross Dellinger tweeting, NCAA presented Michigan evidence that points to a UM booster who goes by Uncle T, that's like the most booster thing ever, as having partially funded the scouting scheme and an assistant coach now fired Chris Partridge as attempting to destroy computer evidence. Sources tell Dan Wetzel and Ross Dellinger. So,
but they're the victim.
Yep.
But they're the victim. Free Harbaugh.
This sounds like some Watergate stuff. I am totally having flashbacks to Richard Nixon.
And look, if an assistant coach is out there trying to delete evidence, you don't think the head coach knows about it?
No, 100%.
This is so stupid.
Harbaugh tried the injunction. They were like, listen, we have the FBI involved. There's a letter. There's a 15-page manifesto. And he went, all right, I'll take 3 games.
Biff Hoagie just tweeted 14 minutes ago, I'm extending an open invitation to Jim Harbaugh to join me on the sidelines for the next 2 Charlotte football games. It would be my honor to stand next to you again as we did for 3 years. What are we doing? Oh, that's hilarious tweet,
that would be funny. I kind of hope he does. I hope he just I hope they bring him out on a float and he does a beauty queen wave to the Charlotte crowd.
Can he wear Charlotte gear? Is that allowed? I wonder what the contract stipulates. Because it's the same guy who used to buy his khakis at Walmart and then once he kind of established himself. Now he's wearing blue Jordan pants again.
No, he will be staying at MJ's house in Charlotte or condo or whatever, and he's going to come head to toe in just Jordan gear.
Yeah.
Waving to the Charlotte crowd. Hi, 49er fans. It's the smallest stadium I've ever seen. Hi.
Hosting a bowl game.
10,000.
All 9,000 people.
Hola.
So Charlotte plays Rice tomorrow at 2 and then at USF 7:30. So
what a barn burner.
The USF game wouldn't compete with. I can't imagine Harbaugh skipping out on Michigan, Ohio State.
Yeah.
I don't know what time the Maryland game is. I think it's a noon kickoff actually. So
I think it's back-to-back nooners. Yeah.
So he would have to miss the end of Michigan's game to watch.
When they're up by 30, it's not going to matter. Anson, Belt, and Buckle lock of the week. They're by 30. Doesn't matter.
If Harbaugh's there tomorrow for Rice, Charlotte, I'm going to lose it.
I will lose my mind.
All right, let's continue on with our picks. Utah is at Arizona. Arizona's had a surprisingly good year. This is a surprising top 25 matchup. Arizona's a 1-point favorite. And I've been on Utah all year, and I'm going to stick with them. They're not good, but they've had a bad year, and they're still ranked, 22nd? Last week they covered against the Huskies.
Yes.
And I'm going to go Utah again. I think Arizona's good, but I like Utah, and I just think when you bet against them, they do well. That doesn't make any sense, Joe. I don't know what I'm saying.
Where's this game being played, Igo?
Arizona.
It's in Arizona, which is why you bear down. The Wildcats, who are playing complimentary football, possibly the best football I've ever seen Arizona play with my own 2 eyes. I've heard stories of the greatness that happened well before I was born, but this is probably the best Arizona team I've seen in my lifetime, which is why I'm taking the Wildcats. I don't think Utah can match the offensive production. We saw what Arizona was able to do against Colorado. We've seen what Arizona can continue to do when they're put into these situations, and they score the football. They find a way, whether it's 3 points or 7 points, they find a way to get in the end zone or to score on offense. Give me the Bearcats. I know they're the Wildcats, but like bear down. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Wildcats as well. Look, Utah this year, it has been
Their field
very...
says bear down, I know.
It has been very clear they are not the same team without Cam Rising. The only ranked win they have is over UCLA.
And
it was 14-7.
Bad.
Right now, Arizona, look, at the beginning of the year, they were playing good against bad teams, but let's read off their last 4 games. Win at Wazoo, win against Oregon State, win against UCLA, all those teams ranked, by the way, and then a win last week in Boulder on Senior Day against Colorado. I know Colorado's kind of bad.
Do they even have any seniors?
They're prime.
I don't know, probably not.
Yeah, probably like the one guy.
The last home game in the 100th season of the Colorado Stadium. I don't know what
By the way, guys,
but I like the Wildcats. Go ahead.
Sorry, not to cut you off, but any chance I have to gloat, I have to take it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go do what you gotta do.
Colorado is 4-6. I told y'all they would not make a bowl game. They finished the season at Washington State, at Utah. Y'all call me crazy?
4-8. Wow.
They're looking at 4-8.
That's rough.
There's still a chance.
There is a chance, but
there's also a chance, might I add, that they get 5 wins and then the committee finds a way to put them in.
Just because they're
Colorado.
Yeah, but all the Pac-12 bowl ties are going to be all linked up.
Hey, man.
All these games. So,
put them in the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Yeah, but
send them to the Bahama Bowl in Charlotte.
Oh my goodness, no, it's been rough, man. Like they started so good,
and then they were exposed. I mean, they freaking demoted Sean Lewis for Pat Shurmur, who I saw OC the Broncos for 2 terrible years. He was awful.
Yeah, when they lost to Stanford, honestly, they should have cut the program. Stanford's the worst team in the Pac-12. They lost to Sacramento State, and then on top of that, like you were up by like 40 or something like that at halftime.
Sacramento State's not a bad program, though. That's where
you lost to Sacramento State. You're Stanford.
That's where their head coach came from.
I know, but you've had guys like
I know,
but you had guys like Andrew Luck and John Elway. So historically, great.
I'm not
program.
disagreeing. I'm just saying Jimmy Garoppolo went to North Illinois State. Like,
yeah, Adam Thielen went to Minnesota State, but it's not what we're talking about here.
No, I'm just saying like there's talent in programs.
Bruce Willis says, "Can we make?" He says Johnny football. I'm guessing he means Joey football. Can we learn how to type in the comments section, please? Can we make Johnny football the announcer at Dowdy Ficklin? So assuming this,
I would love for Johnny Manziel to announce games at Dowdy Ficklin.
Johnny football.
I think he's busy, but yeah.
Joey football. Would you do it if they asked you to take the place of the great Morgan Ehlers?
I don't know if I could do that. He's such a legend. Just a consummate professional. Also, great guy.
Bruce Willis also says Stanford has the best receiver in the nation. He abused Travis Hunter. He is pretty good.
Have you heard of Maserati Marv?
They still should have scored in the second half. Colorado, and yeah, Maserati Marv.
Maserati Marv. Which we're gonna get to that next week. Don't get me started from now because I'm a known Ohio State hater. Like I'm hammering the Buckeyes.
I thought Maserati Marv's dad was good. I saw him play.
I would hate Ohio State.
Honda McCord.
I do hate Ohio State, but I hate Michigan more now. So now
I never thought I would get to this point. I'm actually going to root for Ohio State next week.
Same. North Carolina is at Clemson. 7.5-point favorite are the Tigers. And UNC extremely lucky to win last week over Duke. Got some fortunate calls in a crazy game. It was a lot of fun to watch as a nonpartisan fan. What did you think of that game, Mr. Dookie?
I was very proud of the Blue Devils, the way they hung in. I thought they were going to lose 17-3. That young true freshman quarterback, I think, has a future as a college quarterback.
Yeah, he's
played
not
well. And defense wasn't as good as I thought they would be, but also they got put in some tough spots. When you get going here, we're way behind.
Yeah, we are.
But I was proud of the Blue Devils. And Carolina was like, I saw these people taking like pictures on the field after the game, like they were so happy. It's like, I get you just want a rivalry game, but you just barely beat a third-string quarterback.
They let every year, the seniors are allowed on the field at the last UNC home game. That's like a tradition. So I understand what
There
you're
were
saying.
random people on. I know
Yeah,
people who
everybody
graduated
gets
the
to
wrong
storm the field. That's what you're allowed to do. Like last home game of the season, everybody gets to go on
They
the
don't
field.
have a home game anymore. There's 2 more games left.
No, they play at Clemson and at State.
Okay, makes sense. All right, sorry, we gotta go.
I told y'all we weren't doing NFL today. I wasn't lying. All right, so they're begging you to take UNC here, 7.5-point spread. I'm not going to fall for the trap. I'm taking the Clemson Tigers. Give me Clemson at home, Joe.
Dabo is a walking senator. He just hasn't decided to go for office yet. I'm taking UNC. I'm taking Mac Brown. Drake May is going to establish why he's the best quarterback in the draft.
Clemson's bad. Carolina's the worst. Give me the Tigers.
Washington is at Oregon State. Oregon State is a 1-point favorite despite Washington being top 5 and unbeaten. And I think it's a good call by Vegas because Oregon State is the better team and they will win on their home field. Give me Oregon State. Washington has been flirting with disaster here these last few weeks. I think this is the week it comes crashing down. Beavers.
This is concerning because I'm taking the Beavers as well, and I'm worried that we're going to have a consensus pick, and we all know what that means. Philip.
Ditto to everything Igo said. Give me the Beavers.
Great. So take Washington. Awesome.
Washington will keep its unbeaten season alive another week. All right, we got to get a break in because we are indeed running way behind. That was a long segment, but a fun segment. We will be back. We'll make NFL picks on the other side. This is Hoist the Colors.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast. Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina. Southern Living's best small town.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
Hey, grab me one too.
R&D Brewing is proud to partner with the ECU Pirates, and now you can enjoy Pirates Brew, the official craft beer of ECU Athletics. Pirates Brew is a carefully curated light beer that embodies the spirit of ECU, a refreshing and easy drinking light beer. Pirates Brew by R&D Brewing is available now at grocery stores, local retailers, and at ECU athletic events.
Head over to your favorite store and enjoy a nice Pirates Brew today, or else you'll walk the plank. Hand me another Pirates Brew. Arr.
Play here. Arr! This is Hoist the Colors Radio with Steve and Igo.
Yes! That
On 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back in. Hoist the Colors. Friday show. Joey Football Friday. Not a Johnny Football Friday, but a Joey Football Friday.
I wish I was Johnny Manziel. He's pretty cool.
Coming to Dowdy Ficklin next year. Johnny Football on the PA alongside Morgan Ehlers. Nice attire.
We'll get to it.
If you're watching on the stream.
Philip told me I can't continue my get up until the Jets win again, so I will stand by that.
He's got new get up. He's got
it's a new get up.
Breece Hall jersey and a Jets hat. All right, so we got to go through some of these picks. So, by the way, before we do that, not to delay any further, but Phil, do you remember? So last week, my Anson belt busted. I had the Vikings losing to. I had a 2-week guarantee. I had them losing to the Saints and the Broncos. That busted already. More on that to come. Do you remember Joe's Anson belt last week?
No, I don't remember his or mine.
I just remember mine. Both of them didn't hit.
Yeah.
So none of our locks hit. We'll try to change it around this week. All right, Cowboys 10.5 favorites at Panthers. I don't know why, but I'm going Panthers here, and I feel incredibly stupid saying that, but it just feels like the Panthers stink, but they're going to pull out in a competitive game here and find a way to compete and lose by less than 10. Joe.
Can't believe I'm doing this. I'm taking Dak Prescott. Give me the Cowboys. Here we go. All right, go.
My gut feeling is the Panthers keep it close. However, my boy Jalen Brooks, high school teammate, is a little down the depth chart due to a stacked receiver room.
Very good.
Shout out to him, first 4 career NFL receptions last week. I got to do the pick so that my boy can get in the game and get some real burn. So I say the Cowboys cover, and Trey Lance hits Jalen Brooks in the end zone for a touchdown late in the game to win by like 24. And I could see my boy catch his first career NFL touchdown.
That'd be really cool.
And did I read right that Frank Reich is retaking the play calling duties?
Yep.
Like, what are they doing over there?
Sucking.
I don't know. We got to go. Let's just burn through these next few so we can get to
You don't want to talk about it, Philip?
No, seriously. We got 2 more commercial breaks, and we don't have time.
Oh, boy.
Steelers at Browns. Browns are 1-point favorite. I'm going Browns, even though they don't have a quarterback. Joe.
Kenny Pickett. This is what Pittsburgh does.
Philip.
DTR looked awful in his first start, and he still looks awful in this game. Give me Pittsburgh.
The Jets are at the Bills. The Bills stink, but they are 7-point favorites over the Jets. Joe, lead us off.
This is why you must take my Anson Belt and Buckle lock of the week. The New York Jets are 8-0 when Breece Hall scores a touchdown. It becomes 9-0 this week. He scores, the Jets win. Anson Belt and Buckle lock of the week. So confident I'm actually wearing my Anson Belt and Buckle.
Which we won't show on camera. But Bills.
It's a PG show.
2 losses in a row. They were incredible after a loss. They lost to the Broncos somehow. And 2 losses in a row. I think they bounced back here. I'm going Buffalo. And Josh Allen finally quits throwing the ball to the other team. Philip?
Yeah, I'm with you there, Buffalo.
Vikings are at the Broncos Sunday Night Football. This is my Anson Belt and Buckle lock of the week.
Again?
I am doubling down. The Denver Broncos will end Josh Dobbs' winning streak. Anson Belt and Buckle lock of the week is brought to you by Anson Belt and Buckle. Are you game day ready? Visit AnsonBelt.com/ECU and check out their great collection of holeless belts, including ECU officially licensed buckles, which Joe is wearing.
Bingo.
Anson Belt and Buckle, the official belt of ECU Athletics, also gave $10,000 to Team Boneyard. Order it now. Support that company. Thank you, Anson Belt and Buckle. Philip and Joe, let's hear your thoughts on this pick.
Can you take me higher? Yes, you can. Josh Dobbs scores, wins. Vikings.
Broncos.
Eagles at Chiefs. The Chiefs are a 2.5-point favorite. This is the game of the year, rematch of the Super Bowl. Chiefs at home. I'll never go against them, especially at home in November in a night game. I'm going Chiefs. Joe.
If you look at what the New York Jets did to the Chiefs and what they did to the Eagles, the Chiefs came out on top and looked a lot better. So give me the Chiefs.
I'm going to listen to this game on the radio so I don't have to look at stupid Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's parents the whole game, and I will hear a Chiefs victory on the radio broadcast.
My girlfriend's already fired up for it.
Oh, my goodness. You want to come over to my house? Let's do it on the radio so you don't have to watch it with her?
No.
I got XM, man. I shouldn't admit that working for an FM station, but you know what? I got it, and we're going to listen on that.
We'll see how that goes.
Scott Lorbatcher says, is it 2003 or backwards jerseys back in?
Man, me and Nelly, trendsetters. Remember that.
Trendsetter Johnny Football, whatever his name is. We'll have more with him on the other side. This is Hoisted Colors. We'll wrap things up later.
5th Street Hardware is the home of the $9 lunch special Tuesday through Fridays. $9 specials every day, including the famous Burger Day on Tuesdays, Flatbread Pizza Wednesday, the famous 5th Street Hardware Reuben on Thursday, and fried fish or shrimp on Friday. Plus trivia on Wednesday nights and live music every Thursday nights. And the Prime Rib Brunch Buffet has returned on Sundays. You heard that right. The Brunch Buffet with all the great items, including prime rib. 5th Street Hardware in downtown Greenville.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
I'm a big mood. You can't name a lot of things that I didn't do. Stacking paper like a book, not a Kindle. You outdated, I'm the one they getting into. And I break a sweat. Let's get it. 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 Child, please, I don't need a towel, please.
Are you game day ready? Anson Belt, the official belt of ECU Athletics.
Are you ready for a digital hair color revolution? The Color Master Factory by Chi and LG. A masterpiece of innovation, unlimited color formulations, limitless possibilities. Long-lasting color. Chi.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
This is ECU head football coach Mike Houston, and you're listening to Hoist the Colors on 94.3 The Game.
There he is, the voice of Mike Houston. What do you think the pregame speech will be like tomorrow, Joe?
A lot of expletives, fourth quarter dogfight, knock them out late. This isn't going to be one of those little pillow fights. This is a brawl. This is grown men going against grown men, trained killers against us.
Is that really what he says?
Yeah.
Trained killers?
It's the Navy.
There
were literal
factual.
trained killers across from you. Like we played Diego Fago. He was like, that's a future Navy SEAL at linebacker right now.
He was a bad dude.
Go scoop him.
Most of those guys end up being Marines.
Yeah.
But
or Delta Force.
They shouldn't be
wind
better
up being
football
special
players
forces.
than you guys.
They shouldn't.
But they're disciplined, man. They don't commit a lot of penalties.
Man, that's such BS, man. They commit penalties. They just don't get called for them, Philip, because they're the Navy. That's my feeling. I watch this game every year, and I'm like, how many cheap shots are they going to get away with?
Army Navy's really when you see the cheap shots, guys just go head over heels.
I can't wait till we pick that game.
I'm fired up.
America's game, baby.
America's game. There's one game to pick.
It's the most important game of the year.
We'll spend an hour previewing that.
40 minutes of me talking about Army Navy.
And we're going to have 30 seconds to do our NFL picks like we did this week.
That's fine.
We'll waste all of our time on Army Navy.
Made it work. Good. That's going to be me next week. I hope you're prepared for when we talk about Michigan, Ohio State.
You want to talk about your Jets Black Friday game?
I hate Michigan.
An hour before kickoff?
I'm coming out publicly. I hate Michigan.
So next week, by the way, full disclosure, we will be recording next week's show on Wednesday, but it'll air Friday.
So can we pick the Egg Bowl then? Because that's played on Thanksgiving. Because we're recording Wednesday, or you want to treat it like we're gonna be in the future?
I don't know if we're gonna debut the video along with the radio play on Friday. So we'll probably stay away from picking the Thursday game, but we could pick it off the air or early in the week because we may have you on early in the week.
Tuesday.
Yeah, let's do that.
Pick Tuesday.
Tuesday we'll have the man. It's how is the college football season already almost over?
Because it's November.
But it just felt like we just started. We were just previewing Michigan ECU, and we didn't know that
that's
Connor Stallions had already scouted ECU's entire
2 years ago
system.
That's how it goes. You
just
wake
flies
up,
by.
You sit there. It's the first day of team camp. Next thing you know, it's senior night. That's how the season goes.
But then, like the NFL still is like halfway over.
Yeah,
I mean it's just
2 bye weeks.
It's crazy.
4 preseason games.
They're not 2 bye weeks. You brought that up earlier. You're like, the Jets have had one of their bye weeks. Where are you inventing the second
There's
bye
2
week?
bye weeks.
There's not 2
There's
bye weeks.
not.
If you're the darn 1 seed, there's 2 bye weeks because you get a bye before the playoffs.
He was already thinking that the Jets were going to be number one.
No. It's in the CBA because they extended it to an 18-week season. There's 2 bye weeks.
Now there's 17 games. You play that randomly dumb 17th game now.
We'll do this off air. I'm telling you, there's 2 bye weeks.
You are on some good stuff. I really want to know who you're.
That's the Rogers ayahuasca for you.
Yeah,
Quiet.
this is bad.
We're manifesting. He's coming back.
Unless
He's coming back.
You stick to the X's and O's. I'll tell you the rules and how many games there are.
Please, ref. Please.
Unless you're counting the Thursday game and the off weekend.
No, I'm telling you. We'll
look at the schedule.
We'll look at the schedule.
There's a bye week before the season now because there's less preseason games.
That
So
might
there's
be
a
what it
week
is then.
before the season
That might be where my
starts.
brain's at.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend nobody plays.
Yeah, we'll check.
There's nothing to check.
No,
There's one
is.
bye week.
We have to check if Johnny Football can confirm this because Joey Football clearly can't.
Johnny Football doesn't know what's going on either.
Bruce Willis says Igo is a conspiracy theorist. No, Bruce. Joe is a conspiracy theorist. He's
Yeah,
trying to
I
make
am.
up the fact there's a second bye week.
I'm
that
going to have a
doesn't
foil
exist.
hat on next week talking about how Aaron Rodgers is coming back in December.
This man lives in an alternate universe. He's going to think the Jets are taking a second week off and they're really just losing to the Bills.
Didn't there used to be 2 college bye weeks though, like back in the day?
There did.
They did, yeah.
And I'm kind of glad there's not because I'm ready to get the season over with.
Yeah.
I thought you just said you were upset it was
I said it's hard to
coming
believe.
to an end. Yeah,
I'm
okay.
not mad that it's
There's
over.
Igo covering his tracks once again.
Hey, you got to play both sides. That's what you learn.
I know it well.
All right, Joe,
Go
appreciate
Pirates.
it, man. And Philip, thank you as always. We got to get out of here. We will see you Monday. Pre-game show tomorrow as well. We'll see you in Hoist the Colors on Monday after a Pirate victory.
This has been Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo. Tune in weekdays at noon for all things ECU sports. Get a recap of the show at 943thegame.com, on Twitter, Facebook, or anywhere you get your podcasts. We're back Monday with more of Hoist the Colors on 943 The Game.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
Call AA Hauling 252-946-1227 or AAHauling.com.
R&D Brewing is proud to partner with the ECU Pirates, and now you can enjoy Pirates Brew, the official craft beer of ECU Athletics. Pirates Brew is a carefully curated light beer that embodies the spirit of ECU, a refreshing and easy drinking light beer. Pirates Brew by R&D Brewing is available now at grocery stores, local retailers, and at ECU athletic events.
Head over to your favorite store and enjoy a nice Pirates Brew today, or else you'll walk the plank. Hand me another Pirates Brew. Arr.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast. Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina. Southern Living's best small town.
Hey Pirate Nation, I'm head men's basketball coach Mike Schwartz.
And I'm Kim McNeil, head coach of your defending American Athletic Conference champion women's basketball team.
Basketball season is just around the corner and we're looking forward to another exciting season on the hardwood.
We need Pirate Nation to Pat Minji's Coliseum by purchasing your season tickets today.
Call 1-800-DIAL-ECU or visit ECUPirates.com to get yours now.
Thanks and go Pirates.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
Call AA Hauling 252-946-1227 or AAHauling.com.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
Big mood. You can't name a lot of things that I didn't do. It's like a paper, like a book, not a Kindle.
Are you game day ready? Anson Belt, the official belt of ECU Athletics.